Well, good morning, gardening friends. This is November 12th. The temperatures have been in the 40s and 50s. So I suppose the garden is finally done. Sometimes it's neat to look at these perennials and see how they're still green and apparently growing. And other ones are pretty well done. So I was thinking back of all the changes I've made this year, and this perennial bed here, I pretty much cut everything down and at least a few inches above the ground, and covered over with bark chips. And yesterday I cut the grass out front here and dumped that in the flower beds. I've dumped bark chips over my paths, planted well, I don't know, 200 or 300 wildflowers into here, and a whole bunch of tulips right in here. So I kind of anxious to see that next spring. And last year I planted several hundred, like 300 tulips right in here, and that really looked nice in the spring. And with a few hostas, they're pretty well toast for the year. Now I've covered over this entire area, and I'll probably start using it for a garden this year. And at least the areas that get sun. It's not a very sunny area, but I don't have too much to choose from. This year, I put my potting bench right here. It's pretty old and rotten, and I wired it up so it would quit wiggling back and forth, which seemed to work pretty well. It's pretty solid. And it was not a very expensive thing, and I've got it several years ago, and it's almost like it wasn't meant to be kept out in the rain, which seems to me like, I suppose if you have a nice fancy greenhouse, you could put your potting bench in there. But, and these asparagus ferns are looks like they're starting to die off, so I could cover them up. I have to go get something to cover them up with, either wood chips or straw. What is these wood chips I put in here? Look at that. By spring, those are going to be really good. I think they were sitting in the pile out there for a couple years before I dug them up. In the spring, what I'm going to do with these raised beds, I also made those this year, is cover them over with potting soil, probably a few inches, and then I'm going to, I think I like to plant flowers in them, and then I can dig up those flowers and put those out front. There's some hollyhocks I just happened to see growing here. I don't know how it got, but I put a post here, and then next spring I'll dig it up and put it somewhere else. Some things they just have certain times of year. I've had the best luck moving things in the early spring, and made this nice path right here. Right now it's covered with wood chips, but then I'm going to plant oh yeah, quite a few strawberries planted around it, and I'll put some also, here's some chives that I planted, and here's rosemary, and there was some basil here, but that is a hardy, I don't think, is why. But I'm going to have try companion cropping asparagus and strawberries. I've heard both sides of that issue, how that works, but we'll see. The asparagus has never done very well. I also put in this compost tumbler this year, and the first time I filled it up, I put in grass clippings and things that are too big, so it seems like the grass clippings go away pretty fast, and there's some brown paper in there and some bigger pieces. All the green stuff seems to go pretty fast, and probably what I'm going to do is dump that out over there and just put in some wood chips, because those are all small pieces, and then maybe some grass clippings or plants I pull up that I don't want growing there. Here's a nice hollyhock that I just transplanted here this year, and some irises. I think that'd be kind of nice to have those growing near my potting bench. And that'll be kind of neat next year when the morning glories that volunteer all over the place in here start growing up the potting bench. I've got roses and clematis and honeysuckle growing on here, but last year a lot of times it's just the silver lace vine and the honeysuckle that takes over, or I mean the morning glories that keep volunteering. See, here's a rose. It's a blaze climbing rose. We'll see how they look in the spring. I put up this birdhouse here this year too. Oh, here's some sage that's growing. Yeah, it'd be nice to have this whole area filled up with herbs, edible ones anyway, and strawberries. I've had this birdhouse for several years, but I don't think it's ever been used. But I put it up here on the post. We'll see. I might put blueberries here and a big clump of asparagus right there. And these irises, I think I'm going to put the irises back out front. I put up this bird feeder here. It looks like they've been using it. Yeah, this is going to be nice. This will be the first one I plant. Look at that. Seems like you can almost plant a net without putting anything over it. Imagine what this is going to be like in the spring. Okay, well, it's 40 degrees out here, so I think I'm going to go back inside.